I get a lot of the same Amazon FBA questions from people who are just getting started to ones who have already started but are feeling kind of stuck. So in this video, I'm answering your biggest Amazon FBA questions. The real ones around getting started, choosing the right products, finding the right model, suppliers, and profitability. What actually matters if you want this to work long term? I've been selling on Amazon for over 6 years now and has a business that does over $1 million per month with a total of over $40 million in revenue. And instead of guessing and repeating internet advice, I'm gonna show you what's actually working in this business right now. If you've been confused, stuck, or overwhelmed with what actually works in Amazon FBA, this video should clear it right up. Let's get into it. So one of the main questions I always get is, how much money do I actually need to get started on Amazon? And the thing is, it depends on which business model. What we do is something called brand direct. We go directly to brands, we create deals, we work with them to buy their products at a wholesale price and sell it back at a retail price. For that, you're gonna need at least $2,500 to $3,000. Look, if you're on a lower budget, what you're gonna wanna start with is something called retail arbitrage, which is really simply put, flipping products from stores. So you can go to a retail store, buy the product to resell it on Amazon, or an online store to buy it and resell it. Retail arbitrage is a good way if you have a lower budget, but I will say this, since 2024, Amazon has made it increasingly difficult for arbitrage sellers to make money because they will gate you, they will hard gate you, and they won't allow you to get approved to sell these name brand products. While it still works, I think this business model is on the way out, but if you want to do it just to get your capital up, feel free. But what we do in brand direct wholesale, you're going to want at least $2,500 to $3,000. 5 to 10K is a lot healthier, but at minimum, $2,500. Can I do Amazon while I have a full-time job? Look, I'll tell you a story. When I started back in 2020, I was working 90 hours per week for the Department of Education. I was busting my butt, right? So I was working all the time. I was coming home, I was still doing my Amazon work, and I would give it like 8 hours per week. And that's generally what I recommend for somebody. If you cannot commit at least 8 hours per week to this business, no go. So is it a lot of time? Yeah. I mean, it's a fair amount, but I think that at the end of the day, if you want to build a business, you have to give a good amount of time to accelerate the results. 8 hours per week minimum, but if you work a full-time job and you can commit that, you're good to go. Then people ask, what's the difference between wholesale, private label, arbitrage? Simple, right? In terms of arbitrage, literally all you're doing is buying something from a retail location, a website, a store, and you're selling it back on Amazon for more money. Let's say you go to Dollar Tree and you buy something at literally $1 and it sells for Amazon for $10. You arbitrage the difference in the middle and make some good money. Thing about it is, while I think this is a great model, like I mentioned earlier, it is on its way out. Amazon just does not want to work with these unauthorized resellers because their biggest fear is that you are potentially selling fake products. That's what we do, wholesale. What we do is we work directly with the brands. We get invoices from them that prove that our product is authentic, so Amazon does not worry about if we're selling fake products. And we work with them. We get that product even cheaper than the person that was buying it from a retail store because we're buying it at a wholesale discounted price, and we can get it consistently. We partner with them, we sell their products on Amazon, we increase their revenue by driving up their actual sales by bettering their listings, their photos, descriptions, all of that good stuff, and this is how we make money. And then the other model is private label, which is launching your own brand. That is literally you saying that, hey, I'm going to create my own water bottle or my own shampoo or my own hair care, whatever it may be. And you go out there and you create something, you slap your logo on it, you make a website, all these things, and you start selling it on Amazon. Great way to make money. Only thing I would say is if you are someone getting into the game and your primary focus is cash flow and you don't have a high risk tolerance, when you go out there and literally create something that no one's ever seen, heard about, know about, you have to actually start marketing it. So when you create your own product, you gotta have a budget for actually marketing. You're gonna have to run advertisements on Amazon or off Amazon to actually bring in eyeballs for people to buy your brand. And for a lot of people, that is risky. So I would say, I'm a little biased, of course, but I like reselling because at the end of the day, I know there is proven demand for that product when I start selling it. I'm not guessing. A lot of people ask me why I focus on wholesale instead of private label. And it's really easy, right? We've done private label. We have some private label brands, but wholesale for me has always been a level of security. I always think back to a gentleman called Sam Walton from Walmart, and he became the wealthiest man on this entire planet by reselling products. When we go to Walmart, we're not generally buying a product that Walmart created. We're buying something that someone else marketed, created. All he was doing was putting it on his shelf. That's what we look to replicate on Amazon. We know that this machine is bringing in damn near $2 billion a day. Like, the traffic is already there. So if we just give the consumer what they want, we can sit here and make some good money. So I always looked at it from a risk perspective. I want to guarantee or pretty guaranteed cash flow without taking more risk. But for some people, if you're looking to like exit or build something that's completely yours, then private label might be the way. But if you're looking for cash flow, look, why we do wholesale. Can beginners start with wholesale, or is it too advanced? Now, I would say wholesale is pretty damn easy, right? It's pretty simple. I won't say easy, but I will say it's simple. To put it in a nutshell, all you are doing is understanding that if something is selling at this price and I can get it at this price, and these are all my fees in the middle, I make this amount of money. That's it. We do some math, we understand what our profit is, and we go out there and create deals with these brands. I think it's a very beginner-friendly model. You do need some soft skills. You do need to actually be good at like communicating with people and proving value. But at the end of the day, I think it's one of the lowest risk ways for a beginner to actually jump into the e-commerce space and then take some of that capital and start doing some of the riskier plays like private label. But yes, I think it's very beginner-friendly. My mom, who's 68 years old, has her own Amazon store, put it like that. Is Amazon too saturated? This is so funny because back in 2020, people would always say, why are you getting into Amazon? Did you not know that 9 out of 10 Amazon sellers fail? And I was like, damn, that's a lot. But at the end of the day, it's like, what do you expect? If anyone could go and open an Amazon store, like literally type it in, I'm an Amazon seller, right? No degree, no certification, nothing, no 4 years of school, nothing. We all become Amazon sellers. Do you think that most people will succeed in a business like that? No, of course not. But here's the thing about it. The people at the top 10% are making exponentially more money because what? The marketplace is growing. Amazon has grown on average by 11% each and every year. So what happens to your income if you're in a marketplace that's growing? You make more money. So do I think it's saturated? No. I think at the end of the day, you just have to be more skilled to actually succeed. It's like any business. When you first get in, people are doing random stuff, so it's really easy to make money. The more sophisticated it gets, the better you need to be. I don't think it's a point of saturation. What I consider to be saturation is when the demand is going down and the supply is going up. The demand is going up in this. More people are buying online. So all we need to do is find out the skill set to how to actually ride that wave up. Do I need to undercut sellers to make sales? This is a rookie mistake. This is what so many new sellers do. And it always happens during Q4, the fourth quarter of the year, where people just want to rush and start selling stuff on Amazon. It's crazy. They'll go in and start dropping the price, and literally rush into the bottom. Here's the crazy part. Amazon's a very fair marketplace. There's something called a buy box, where if you look on your Amazon store on your phone, you'll see when you click on a listing, you'll see add to cart and buy now. The buy box. That buy box is where most people shop. They hit add to cart or buy now, they purchase the product, see you later, it's gonna get there to me in 1 to 2 days. In that buy box is a seller. There's one seller in that buy box when you hit that. But guess what? On that listing, there are multiple sellers. So what happens is that thing called a buy box, it rotates between all the sellers that are priced at the same level. So you don't need to undercut people to start making money. If you just price where everyone else is, you will get your piece of the pie. To put it in layman's terms, if a product is doing like 1,000 sales a month, there are 9 sellers on the listing, you jump on, you are number 10, right? You will effectively get 1,000 divided by 10, 100 sales a month. That is your share of your equity of sales. Share the buy box, do not undercut people. That's a rookie mistake. It's a race to the bottom. What's a good ROI for Amazon wholesale? So when we first started, we would take a much lower ROI and a much lower profit margin, right? We would take as low as like 12, 13% ROI. Nowadays, no, we really want for like 20, 25, 30% ROIs to make it make sense for us now. But when you first get started, I think of it very simply. At the end of the day, I want to make money. My money is best in the marketplace than sitting in my bank account making nothing. Like if you can make 12, 15% ROI in like a month to a month and a half, that's a good return. Like I'm turning $10,000 into another $1,500 in profit in a month. That sounds good to me. This marketplace is all about velocity, but a good ROI, I would think, is at least around 15%, but really we aim for closer to 20 to 30%. Can Amazon shut down your account? Yeah, don't do this. Don't start buying from random people. Like don't start buying from Alibaba or this random closeout store or anything like that. If you get flagged and Amazon says, hey, you might be selling fake products, they can shut down your account. This is exactly why we go directly to the brand. It guarantees that they know this product is authentic. Don't risk them thinking that you sell fake products. Go directly to the brand. Another question I get is what gets sellers suspended? It really goes back to the same point. It is literally because you're selling unauthorized products. If you're selling a product that Amazon can't verify that it comes directly from the brand or an authorized distributor, you run the risk of them shutting down your account. Can you get away with it for a while? Sure, but long-term, build a sustainable business, you do not want to let this happen because when Amazon shut down your account, what they can do is hold your inventory and actually keep your funds where you have to actually appeal to get it back. It is an absolute freaking nightmare. So what you want to do? Buy directly from brands. What's the biggest mistake that beginners make? Biggest mistake I see beginners make, honestly, is A, not buying directly from brand or authorized distributors, or B, just not doing enough volume. I hear it all the time. Someone will say, hey, I reached out to 20, 30 brands and I didn't get a deal. Dude, this is all mathematical. You're doing cold outreach. You have to do a large volume to get a small result. It just is what it is. But you want to be efficient with this. I'll tell you right now, as our business, what we do is we send out 400 emails per week, 400 new contacts, and we close 5 profitable brand direct accounts. You might say 400 emails. Dude, it's like an hour worth of work. 5 profitable deals that averages us 15 to 25K in positive new spend into the business every week. It's just math. If we could just produce it every week, we've been doing it for the past 6 months, 5 new deals a week, we're doing pretty good. Simple as that. Do a lot of volume on the front end to get a small amount of deals, but those small amount of deals are golden nuggets. When should you reinvest versus pay yourself? So back in 2020, I was making the grave mistake of taking all of my profit and reinvesting back into the business. It was so dumb because what was happening was I would have all these products that I can buy, but I was limited by the amount of capital I have. Now what we do is leverage debt, we leverage credit, right? This is something that is so powerful because what's gonna happen is you're gonna have all these products that you source from these brands and all you need is capital to get injected into them. So getting something like a zero interest business credit card from American Express or Chase allows you to fund the growth of the business, making this game a lot easier because of the cash velocity. If I put, let's say, a product that I'm spending $100,000 on, I'm getting a 20% ROI. I spend 100K, I get back 20K in profit. That covers up, even if I have interest on it, that is covered. Plus I have all that profit without any money coming out of my account. If it's a zero interest business credit card, well, it's all profit to me. So you don't want to get into the habit of reinvesting your profit into the business. It will slow you the hell down. The reason we were able to grow so quick is because we properly leverage debt to grow the business. When should you hire a VA? This is one of the biggest mistakes that people make. They hire too early. Look, until you're making 5, 10, 15, 20K a month, you do not want to hire a virtual assistant because you simply don't know the business. As soon as you understand the business, the next thing is to create leverage by hiring someone to help you. You get a virtual assistant for anywhere from $2 to $5 an hour and they can handle the majority of the business for you. Do you need a prep center? Not necessarily. You can prep your own products, but I do think it's kind of like retarded, to be honest. What you want to do is use prep centers so you create leverage. One of the biggest mistakes that I made is going and get a warehouse. We were prepping our own products. We were getting staff, bubble wrap, label printers, pallet jacks, and what it was doing is slowing us down. If you hyper focus on the aspect of finding new profitable products, you will make more money. Always think from that perspective. And at the end of the day, if you're getting into this business, you probably want time freedom so you don't have to run all of that actual staff. So that's why getting a prep center is a lot better than getting your own warehouse. How do you know what to reorder and what to cut? It's really simple. Stay in stock with your most profitable products, cut and replace the losers. This is something we do every single month. Our team pulls a report. We see our most profitable products, we reorder them, keep them in stock, and the ones at the bottom that are making the least amount of money, we cut them and look to replace them with more profitable products. It's an 80-20 rule. 80% of your revenue is gonna come from your top 20% of products. That is hands down, happens to us all the time. Just stay in stock with the winners. We track this data using a software like Seller Legend, or just manually you can pull this data from your Amazon seller account. But it's pretty easy. Stay in stock with the winners, cut and replace the losers. So those are some of the biggest Amazon FBA questions I get asked all the time. Hopefully this cleared up a lot of confusion and made it clear what actually matters the most when you're looking to start and scale an Amazon business. If you want to go deeper and find out the exact system that we use to do over $40 million in sales on Amazon in the past 6 years, click the first link in the description and register for our next completely free live training. We're going to be going in depth. I'm going to be going over everything step by step about how to find the right brands and suppliers to go to and how you can actually build an Amazon business that can scale. I'll see you there.